It's that time again. Time to get out of the corner office, out of the 5-man bases, and into the first of the 6-man bases in the Cascade Hills region, which is also known as the Foothills, by the way. Now, there are 2 6-man bases on each map, and the first of these 2 that I've chosen is a warehouse location called Mohr Mohr Distributing. And what I'm going to do is review the location, the features, the customizations, the upsides and downsides of this home base. Then I'm going to finish it off with my evaluation on Mohr Mohr Distributing so that you can decide whether or not you want to smash or pass on this home base location. Learning, researching, sharpening your mind to outplay, outthink, outmaneuver, outfox your opponents is one of the 4 pillars to my Get Good philosophy. And fortunately for you, I have done the homework for you, so you just have to sit back and listen. But first, a quick shout out to Cosmic Dragon 451, a fan who reached out to me on the Xbox One platform and wanted a mention in one of my new videos. So here you are, Cosmic Dragon. Thanks for being a bro. Anyway, enough fooling around, time to get down to business. Mohr Mohr Distributing is located in the far northeast corner of Cascade Hills, and it is pretty much in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's so far in the middle of nowhere that I wouldn't be surprised if one of the neighboring enclaves is Courage the Cowardly Dog, Eustace Bang, and his wife Muriel.
Stupid dog! You made me look bad!
There's pretty much nothing here. There are no town centers here. There's a handful of lootable buildings, but it's going to be annoying driving all over the place to get loot, and anytime you get missions, they're going to be on the other side of the map. So this is definitely immediately a negative for Mohr Mohr Distributing. But let's go ahead and move into the base tour and a little bit about what it's like to defend Mohr Mohr from zombie sieges. This base is going to be really hard to miss because of the general lack of buildings in the area and the giant sign that says Mohr Mohr on it. There are several other bases in the game that are also warehouses, so Mohr Mohr is going to feel really familiar if you've been in any of those other ones. You've got your fence, you've got your warehouse headquarters, and the zombies are able to attack in 3 directions. You've got the front entrance, and then to the back of the building, there is a side entrance on the left and a side entrance on the right. So just look for the gates, and now you'll know where the zombies are going to be attacking from. When the zombies do attack, it's basically going to be this big old slug out in the courtyard of the base because there are no natural choke points or hallways that you can hold down like in some of the previous bases. Anyways, let's look at the most important part of a base, which is the facility customization options, and this screen you're looking at now is what the base screen is going to look like after you purchase the Mohr Mohr Distributing location. What we have is 4 parking spaces and 7 pre-built structures. 5 of them are permanent, meaning they can never be torn down, but they might be modifiable, and 2 of them can be torn down. So what do we got here? We have our obligatory storage room, we have our obligatory command center, we have a fully upgraded built-in machine shop, which is kind of nice, we have a gas generator, we have a gas tank weight at the bottom, and then we've got 2 bedding locations that can be torn down, which are temporarily going to provide us beds, but I will definitely be removing them. And now I've done just that. By tearing out 2 of the optional bed locations, that brings us up to 5 small facility options, 3 indoors, 2 outdoors, and 2 large outdoor facilities, which makes the Mohr Mohr Distributing a really customizable base. Definitely something working in its favor. But what about the remaining 5 permanently built-in facilities, the ones we're not allowed to remove? They're usually what give a base its unique playstyle, its unique feel, and there's 2 we're not going to talk about, the storeroom and the command center, because they're in every single base. So instead, we're going to talk about the machine shop. This facility is basically a supercharged version of the level 3 workshop. Its main advantages is that it's already fully upgraded, and you didn't need any of the trade skill requirements in your community to get it to level 3, and also it has the built-in ability to speed up construction times by 25%, including building upgrade times. However, to be honest, I really don't consider it to be that great of a built-in because you would have built this workshop anyways, and yes, the workshop isn't quite as good as the machine shop, but it's damn good enough. It's going to do the job. And 2, the main advantage of a built-in is either it's a really unique building, or B, the material cost is waived from it. So the daily 1 material upkeep for some of the more advanced buildings does not apply to a built-in, and the workshop never would have had a maintenance cost to begin with. Now, down below, we have this ridiculously massive fuel tank that increases your fuel storage by 100 units of fuel. And I think that this is just so stupid. Why would you ever need to store 100 units of fuel? To me, it's just a massive waste. And lastly, we have the backup power generator. This thing I feel has some use compared to the other two, but overall, I still don't consider it very good. What it does is allow you to spend 1 unit of fuel to get about 1 day worth of electricity for your entire base. It isn't bad, like that could be useful if you need electricity, but there are other ways to get electricity that doesn't consume a facility slot, and this is forced upon you. You can't remove the backup generator. If you are very new to State of Decay 2, then my get good advice for resolving your electricity issues would be to capture a power plant as an outpost. Keep in mind that it does cost quite a bit of influence to do this, but once you take it, all you have to do is pay the daily fuel requirement, and if you do that, you will have base-wide power. But an even better idea would be to beat the game as the builder leader, because that unlocks the Amenities Legacy, which is a power-up that can be applied to your next game, and that will give you permanent electricity, permanent water, without any condition or threat. Overall, I really don't find the built-ins to be a big advantage in Mohr Mohr. They seem on the wasteful side to me, but at any rate, let's see what my customizations for the remaining slots look like. So this is what I chose. It is by no means optimized because I'm doing a very slow marathon play and I don't have some of the people requirements for things like the hydroponics facility, so feel free to make different decisions for me. Consider this a sample. Starting with the 3 small indoor facilities, we've got the kitchen, which is providing stamina and morale thanks to our nutritionist. We've got an infirmary, gotta have an infirmary, gotta be able to recover from injuries quickly. We've got a fighting gym, which is providing more health and stamina bonuses. Down below in the outside, we've got 2 small facilities that are gardens, both of them. One of them is planted for food, the other is planted for medicine to neutralize our food and medicine needs. And lastly, our super spicy large facility options. If you've seen any of my previous base reviews, it should be no surprise at all that I've got a lounge here. The lounge gives you a bunch of ways to boost your morale, especially if you have the OG Xbox facility mod, which allows you to have that 1v1 Blood Gulch action. It also gives you 2 beds, which is nice. But right next door to it is the new addition, the Forge. And let me tell you, if you did not buy any of the DLCs, you have got to get your hands on a Forge and somebody with the metalworking skill. And the reason for that is because the Forge, with a metalworker, is capable of making extremely high-quality blunt and bladed weapons that are capable of rivaling, but not quite meeting, the quality of the DLC weapons. Extremely high-quality stuff. There might be better stuff out in the wilds or out in some quests, but this is a very reliable way of gearing up your guys with really good melee weapons. And that's what I did for this base. Its main weakness is that it's very noisy without any watchtowers, but I had to work with what I had. So, what is my conclusion on Mohr Mohr Distributing 6-man base in the Foothills? Previously, all of my base reviews have been positive. I have liked the bases. This is the first base where I do not like the base. I don't recommend it, honestly. If you like Mohr Mohr Distributing, it's not that big of a deal. If you move in here, your dick is not going to fall off the next day. It's not the end of the world. The base is functional. However, I just don't like the base as much as others, and here's why. First off, the location is so bad. You are in the middle of nowhere, and as much as I like Courage the Cowardly Dog,
Stupid dog!
I do not like traveling all over the map constantly. I really liked being in the middle of the map. Another problem I have with it is that the built-ins suck. Who needs plus 100 fuel storage? It's just ridiculous. It doesn't come with something useful like a built-in watchtower, and so it was very hard for me to try to fit that watchtower in, which is why ultimately it's a noisy base. I couldn't fit that watchtower in. So overall, I don't really care much for Mohr Mohr Distributing. If you like the base, tell me in the comments section what you like about the base. Maybe I overlooked something. Maybe I was short-sighted. Tell me if you like it. And while you're at it, why don't you just subscribe to my channel for future State of Decay 2 content. And of course, remember that you don't have to be good to get good.